Is it safe for your knees to go past your toes in Warrior 2? Or what about in a lunge? How about with a deep squat? I'm Dr. Anthony Davis, and I'm not going to give you a black and white answer because I think that's lazy. Not to mention dishonest and unhelpful. Okay, so here's the deal. When your knee goes over your toe, the thing that people are nervous about, biomechanically speaking, for the most part, is something called shear forces. So if here's your femur, your upper thigh bone, and here's your tibia, which is your shin bone, well, the two of them come together to create your knee. And when the knee goes forward, like your knee goes forward of your toes, then what can happen is this bone can slide forward and then it can compress your patella, your kneecap, right in front of it. So these shear forces on the knee are undesirable, at least biomechanically speaking. However, there's a problem with just thinking biomechanically because practically speaking, every time that I take a step, I step forward in my back leg, my knee does go over my toe there. Every single time I take a step, it does it. And we're not telling people to stop walking, are we? Or what about going up or down a step? So if I have a step here, I have to step up, and when I lean forward to actually step up, oh, my knee just went over my toes to step up. And if I was going downstairs, so if I'm here and I want to go down the stairs, I step forward and up, my knee just went over my toes. And again, we're not telling people to stop walking upstairs, are we? No, we want to encourage them. Use the stairs, do more activity. But what does the research say? Well, it says that, cue the research here and cue the research here. There is a slight increased risk of having some pain in your knee associated with putting your knees in front of your toes during things like squatting or lunging or other activities. So if somebody already has a little bit of knee pain, then yeah, putting your knee in front of your toes during a Warrior 2 or a lunge or a squat might increase the chances that they do end up feeling pain. But again, we've got research on the injury risk of putting your knees into deep flexion in front of your toes, and we see that it's not really an injury risk, and it's advisable to go ahead and use that movement because it is an important functional human movement to be able to do a deep squat, for example. So if you're a yoga teacher or a personal trainer, what should you do in your group classes or one-on-one training? There is an argument to be made that if you're teaching group classes and we know that a certain type of movement tends to bother a lot of people's knees, then maybe we skip out on it or just make it very optional. But again, we have the fact that, we actually put our knees in front of our toes all the time in daily life and it doesn't cause a problem. So there's another argument to be made that we should gradually expose people to the idea of putting their knees maybe just a little bit in front of the toes or in front of the ankle and then maybe in front of the toes, just so they get used to it and desensitize their knee to it, as long as it doesn't cause them pain. So here are the takeaways that I would give you if you're a teacher and you're wondering what to do. Well, if you're in a group class and somebody has their knees over their toes and you feel the need to correct their alignment, well, maybe do it this way. Number one, take a look at them. So if their knee really is way, way, way over the toes or way, way inside, if it's really dramatic, then maybe consider offering them another option. If it's not too dramatic, maybe just leave it alone. But here is how you could approach it if you do want to offer a suggestion. Okay, so you see your student, their knee is way in front of their toes, or it's like way inside the knee or anything like this. Well, you could go up and just ask them, hey, does this feel okay on your knee? And if they say, it kind of does hurt, then sure, offer a suggestion. Say, hey, try pushing your knee a little bit outside, and then let's take your knee back behind the toes and see how that feels. And if they say that it feels better, great. Let them do that for a while. One really important thing is that you don't go up to them and see that their knee is over their toe and you say, oh no, oh no, oh no. You got to fix that or your knee is going to get damaged or you're going to have a knee injury. Don't scare them about it if you want to make a suggestion. But you could simply walk up to them and say, hey, could we try something a little different with the knee? Is that okay? And if they say, sure. Well, if they say no, then go about your business. Leave them alone. But if they say, sure, why not? Then you could suggest, hey, well, push your knee into my hand. And you see that, and then let's draw the knee back a little bit. Does that feel stronger in the leg? So instead of even focusing on pain, don't say, oh, does this hurt less? Because that's an assumption that it hurts in the first place. Well, maybe we just draw it back and say, does this feel stronger? So focus on the positive aspect of having your knee back here, because it is a bit stronger of a pose for your quads. You're in a stronger, more stable position. Not Not that this is dangerous, but just that this might feel stronger for a lot of people. But then the truth is that sometimes with classes, especially if it's individual, if you teach with individual people, you do personal training, you do one-on-one yoga classes, then if you can say, hey, can we try to expose the knee to more difficult things and see how it feels? And if people are on board with it, then you can say, all right, let's take the knee and let's push it forward a little bit. Let's see what it feels like to push that knee in front of the toes. Does that bother the knee at all, or do you feel nice and strong in that position? And then you could do a vinyasa where you move into that position, and we could explore this. We could even make little tiny knee circles and see if there's any aspect of the movement that's painful. But if it's not, then this could be part of that individual person's practice. So if you have the luxury of teaching one-on-one, then you can explore this stuff a bit more. I do get it though. If you're in a group class, maybe you want to skip it because the truth is it is going to bother some people's knees. But if you give good coaching in a group class and you say, hey, if this bothers your knees, please don't push into pain. Let's explore our strong, pain-free ranges of motion only. Then that seems to be a happy medium. Hey, if you have an alignment question or cueing question, is it safe to do this in yoga or exercise? Please leave it in the comments. I'd love to know what cueing or alignment things you want to know about. Remember, motion is lotion, movement is medicine. I'm Dr. Davis. I'll see you in another video.